Dear Colombo teachers, staff, and colleagues, it's our pleasure to join you today at the 2021 National ELT Virtual Conference. Today, my colleague Laura and I will share some important information with you about American spaces.
That's right, Gloria. I'm also very pleased to share with you how important is the American spaces world. To understand the American spaces world is key to know what is an American space. Of course, it would be impossible to give a definition without going back throughout the history. The concept of what is now called an American space was first developed after the First World War as a means of countering disinformation and sharing U.S. education, culture, arts, and a lot more with the communities. When the U.S. began to conduct public diplomacy in overseas buildings out of the U.S. Embassy, American spaces were born. Then, American spaces are strategically and powerful allies to support U.S. foreign policy goals by providing technologically modern and welcoming places to engage audiences in a wide range of activities. The way we perceive it is that American spaces are places where people meet people, talk to people, and listen to people. Places where people learn and share ideas, express their thoughts, and cordially debate in a sensitive topic, all of that while learning English. American spaces in Colombia are Centro Colomboamericanos. But Gloria, could you please brief our audience on the history of the American spaces and what are the core programs that characterize an American space?
Sure. Throughout their 100 years of history, the American spaces have taken countless shapes, sizes, and styles. With more than 650 locations worldwide, American spaces models included libraries and information resource centers, American centers, American corners, and binational centers, known in Colombia as Centros Colomboamericanos, nuestros queridos Centros Colomboamericanos. Binational centers were among the first American spaces, and the first binational centers was the Instituto Cultural Argentino Norteamericano, founded in Buenos Aires in 1928. The U.S. Department of State used to have a closer admin role to American spaces, but only until early 80s, American spaces became independent from the U.S. embassies worldwide. On 2011, the Office of American Spaces was created. Its mission is to provide services and to support American spaces and advocate for them across the State Department, with Congress, and to other U.S. government agencies. The Office of American Spaces has 18 staff members in Washington, 4 staff members in Vienna, Austria, and the Regional Public Engagement Specialist, a corps of about 30 U.S. Foreign Service officers, specialists, stationed in strategic locations around the world. We have one in Colombia. Possessing a wide range of programming, management, and training skills, these specialists link American spaces embassies and consulates with the broad set of expertise in Washington and provide direct guidance to American spaces. They also assist the embassies and American spaces in navigating the process involved with building or redesigning an American space. In 2013, the American Spaces Standards were developed, and finally today, on 2021, there are more than 650 American spaces around the world and over 170 binational centers in the Western Hemisphere region, our region. Colombia is also a member of ABLA, the Association of Binational Centers in Latin America. In Colombia, we have 9 American spaces in Armenia, Barranquilla, Bogotá, Bucaramanga, Cali, Cartagena, Manizales, Medellín, and Pereira.
Thank you, Gloria. I know that is a lot of information, very well summarized, but I would like to emphasize on the American Spaces Standards that you mentioned, specifically on the core programs. There are 5 core programs that are the base of the BNC's mission. The first one is information about the United States. The second one is English language learning. Third one, Education USA advising. Fourth, cultural programming. And finally, we have alumni programming. But also, it's very important that a binational center should be able to provide the following centers to the community. Support of foreign policy, of course, offer dynamic programming, be open to the public, offer a collaborative place for citizen, alumni, and partners, have easy access to target audiences, offer free Wi-Fi and technology to conduct video calls, conference, and meetings, grant access to the bilingual library and research resources.
That's right, Laura. It's also especially important to mention that other key components of the Binational Center standards is the look and feel. American spaces need to look like a US space. They should make you feel like you're there. They do not only need to look identical, but for sure the visitors of an American space wants to connect in some way to America. Design choices can transform a space into a bright, modern, engaging, and multifunctional space. For that reason, the Office of American Spaces have created a color palette and the idea book, which contains tips to redesign your American space or your Colombo Americano. I encourage each of you to represent the American spaces at each of your classes to make sure that your students are aware of the Colombo services and the great options that the 5 core programs will give to them. Warm regards from the Embassy and enjoy the conference.
Yes, Gloria. All the aspects that we have mentioned today play a vital role on the mission of our binational centers. Therefore, valuable information to be shared with the teachers and BNC staff that is attending this wonderful event. To conclude, I would like to mention that if you have any questions on American Spaces, you can reach us via email. Further details can be also consulted at the American Spaces website or Facebook group, as you will see the links on the image displayed on the screen. Thank you so much for your attention and enjoy the rest of this National ELT Conference. Warm regards from the U.S. Embassy. Bye.